Hello students. So in the previous video, we have seen how to create the implicit explicit Python job. Now in this video, we're going to learn about how to get the job from the GitHub. So as you have seen in the previous job, we have been using the uh, location of our system where our jobs was getting created. So we used to provide the drive location and the path where our program is saved. So this way, if you are running your Python job or any job, that means you are executing it from your local system or from your local repository. So now we will going to learn how to run the same job from the remote repository, that is from the GitHub, that is from the source code management. So here we have a configuration where you can see in every freestyle project you have a section called source code management. So previously we haven't selected that. So here this time we have to select and we have to select a Git. So Git is a plugin of Git in the Jenkins is already installed. So that's why you get the option for Git directly. And you have to give the URL of your Python Git repository. So here you can just, first make sure that your code or your Python job, okay, is uploaded onto your GitHub account. And then you just have to, after pushing everything on GitHub, you copy the link to your GitHub repository and paste it inside the URL section. Okay, and before you go ahead, just ensure you have a Git plugin also installed, which is like at the time of installation only it gets installed. But if suppose it doesn't come, maybe at the time of installation, if you find some error and the plugin could not get installed, so first you head over to the plugin section and make sure that the plugins are already installed. Okay, so if plugin is installed, then you will directly find this option here, and which apparently indicate that the plugin is there with you. So here in the branch specifier, you can just write nothing, like here it is suggested blank for any. So just omit everything out from here, okay, and just click on apply and save. So it's just a matter of putting your GitHub URL and installing the necessary plugins. So after clicking on build now, you should observe the output that now it is fetching the repository from the given GitHub URL. Okay, so it is now fetching that factorial code from the GitHub URL, and now it is performing the execution. Okay, so this is one way how you can fetch the data from the remote repository and run the job from the remote repository, that is from your GitHub account. Now, similarly, we can push every other type of a code onto GitHub, and we can just provide the URL and we can get our job executed. So it can be a Java program, it can be your any other program for that matter. So you just have to uh, look for the URL, and provided you have uploaded everything properly and you have got the URL, your job should get run successfully. Now we will move on to another type of project that is called as a Maven project. So how to execute the Maven project in Jenkins. So before we start executing the Maven project, we first try to understand like what is Maven. So here you can just type in Google Maven in 5 minutes. You'll get the first link. So Apache Maven is an Apache product. So here you will get the link to study about what is Maven. So Maven is basically a Java tool, and it's basically used to build a Java project. So in Eclipse ID, you might have seen while creating the project, you used to create new project. So like so you can just head over to this small example of how to create. Since I don't have Eclipse installed right now, so I'm taking the help of online tutorial. So here you create the new project name, specify the Java SE standard, the versions, and after clicking on the new project, you get the project directory structure. So it's basically like you have got the entire stuff related to Java projects like test script files and every other file created. Okay, so you don't have to sit and write everything by yourself. So basically, it will help you to create the Java uh, project. So basically, maybe it's a Java standalone project or maybe the Java web project. So wherein you can simply start focusing on the code rather than on the creating part of it. So that will help you to understand what is the need of the Maven. So here also you can first have a glance of how do you create any project in Eclipse. So when you do everything from here UI, but behind the scene the Maven is a tool which is doing this part. So it is having certain command line. So it is running all those commands along with the argument. So you say new project, then you select the type of project. So here you select the Maven project. Okay. And after that you also specify the Maven type of a project. So it's like depending upon the different type of a Java project, like you may use Java to create web project or maybe to create a standalone project. So here you're selecting by default, you're given a choice as quick start project. So it will going to create a simple Maven project for you where it will have the basic directory structures created for you. So then after that, you have to add the group ID, the artifact ID, and the version. Okay, all those things you have already done, but you have done using the Eclipse. So the same way we can create the project using the command line using the Maven tool. So Maven is the tool which is responsible for helping you to create this project directory structure. So you have got important file that is called as a POM file, that is pom.xml file, and after your project got created, you get a uh, main file that is called as app.test.java file. So which after uh, clicking on green button, you get the output which says hello world, okay, or whatever is the main text written inside it. Maven project requires the POM file that is called as a project object module file. So it contains the important related information to your project like the name, the version, the artifact ID, the group ID, the URL, and the properties and the dependencies. So whatever you need for your project, everything is going to be added into this form file. So after having understood how to create the Maven project, so here is how we can install the Maven. So here first you need to download the Maven, so which is just a small, you can say, zip file. So you can download the zip file and you can extract anywhere in your PC. So I have already extracted. Okay, 3.9.4 version. Okay, so here is my Apache Maven 3.9.4. So what I need to do is quickly after I have extracted it, you need to copy this path and you need to set it into environment. Okay, so you have to go into the environment variable section and under the system path you have to add the environment variable. So you just have to add a new variable giving its path. Okay, so since I've already added it here, so I'm not saving it again. So even though you have about the same version, so that's how you add the path. And once you have added the path after clicking on OK, you should quickly check for the Maven version. So you should type Maven. The short form for the Maven is nvn minus minus version, and immediately you'll find the Maven version printed on your terminal along with the Maven home path. So this is a very important Maven home path, okay? Because we're going to need this path again in the Jenkins while we are going to set up the Maven job. So after having installed the Maven, so as you have seen, the installation is quite simple. You need to create the project. So you can just quickly copy and this command and paste it in your terminal to create a new project. Okay, Maven based project. So this is the step that you used to do in Eclipse while you do create new project. So once you hit enter, okay, so it starts creating the project. So here meanwhile we can have a look at what this command. So it is first the type of argument that we want to provide to Maven is generate. So basically, we want to generate the project, create the project. We have to pass on the another argument. What is our company ID? What is our artifact ID? So this is going to be the name, final name of my application, okay, or the project. So here it is a quick start project. So that is another argument. And what is the architect type version and whether it should be in interactive mode or not. So it's like a basic command which will going to first create a project. So after you had created it, you should check for the name as my app because that's the name of the directory structure we had created. And here you can run a command tree to see what all files and necessary directory structure it has created for us. So you have src, and in src you have main and test. In main you have Java, then com, my company, and then the project name app. Okay, so here also after creating the project, you should take a moment to explore the form.xml file. So where you will going to get this file. So here is my project. So I'll be using this form.xml file to build. Build is the process of converting the source code into will be creating its executable form in the form of jar file. So this is how our form.xml file looks like. So it contains all the basic information, the properties, the dependencies, and the various plugins that it is going to use to perform the Maven related goals. So we may see that soon, we are giving the clean goal, compile goal, and then we may be, creating the jar, and we may be installing it, deploying it, and we may be performing a testing. So all these plugins may be used, step by step in the stages of the Maven while creating the build for the project. So how you create the build of the project? So you use the command mvn package. So it's basically going to now take everything inside our source code. So here is our source code. So this src contains everything like all our Java files, all our test files, test scripts, and all. So here we cannot hand over every this all these files to our customers like this. So we need to convert it into a package called jar or any executable package. So since it is a Java project, it will going to its compatible executable version is the jar file. So here after typing the command mvn package, it will going to create the jar of this entire application. So it has started creating. So the name of the jar that it will going to assign is my app 1.0 snapshot.jar. So it has created. So it has given us the message that it has created the jar file. So what we have to do is just go back to this app, and you will now find one folder called target, wherein you will find this my snapshot.jar. So now we have got the jar file. Now it's time to execute that file. Okay, so that it will start displaying its results. You have to copy this command which says that use the Java command to to execute this file which is found in this package. Okay, so this jar file which has been just created by Maven inside the directory target, you will have to just pass this class path, and you have to give it source package name, and it will start printing you the actual result or whatever is being given in the Java file, main.java. Okay, so I'll just copy it once again. Okay, so this has printed the hello world. So because since it is a first simple program we created, it's having nothing more than hello world in it. One system dot out println hello world. This is the program and this is output. Now we'll be running the same job in Jenkins. So the step is very simple. Okay, the first thing that you have to ensure before you have started creating or running the job, go to manage Jenkins, go to plugins, okay, and ensure that you have got the Maven plugin installed. Okay, so this is the Maven integration plugin. So you may find in the available plugin section, once you have installed, you may find it inside the installed plugin section. So since I've already installed, so it is available inside my installed plugin section. Now after ensuring that the plugins have been installed, okay, so Maven also requires Java, so ensure Java is installed, which we have already done for the Java job. So I hope it is already there in your system. So now we'll have to create a new job which is of type Maven. So if you would have seen, after the Maven integration plugin installation, you would find in your dashboard while creating a new item the Maven project. So here you can give, Maven job, okay, the name as Maven job, and you can select the type of project as Maven and click on OK. So since I have already got one Maven job, so I will quickly demonstrate how it looks like. So in the general section, you have to leave everything as it is in the source code. So since now we are, going to fetch the code which we have just run on our local system. So we're not going to use Git. Okay. Then after that, we have to move to the next part. That is next section, that is called as a pre-steps. So in pre-steps, you would find the button called Add Pre-Build Step. So you have to click on the option that says I have somewhere in Jenkins, I have set the Maven home path and I have selected the version. So ideally, I should have selected the Maven with the name of version, but it's fine since I have only one version, so I can name it anything. The next thing which I have to do is after selecting the appropriate Maven version, I have to, give the goals. So my goals are first to, clean the project, compile the project, create a package that is jar out of it, and perform the installation. Okay, and in advanced section, what I have to do is I have to give the path of my pom.xml. So where is my pom.xml? So I have to locate that file first. So I'll be going back to this directory structure. So you find pom.xml in the root level. So you just have to, copy everything from here, the path, and you have to paste it inside here, okay, as your complete path. Okay, and followed by slash pom.xml. So my previous path was some another project path, and this is now the one which I have just now created. Okay. So after adding the pom.xml, okay, after specifying the version, so I'll show you where and how you can, get this version. So in the dashboard, again, go back to the manage Jenkins part and click on to tool section. And here you would find, since you have already installed the Maven plugin, so you would find many configurations related to Maven here. So here you would going to get, the Maven section. So what you have to do here is just simply click on Add Maven. So after clicking on Add Maven, it will going to show you the input like this. So where for the name of Maven, you may type the name of version. So since our version was 3.9.4, so we can type version like this, okay, 3.9.4 as the name of our Maven. So Jenkins offers you to have this installation done automatically. Okay. So if in case you haven't installed on your system like this, okay, the way we have extracted and check the version. So if you haven't have done like that, this is how we have extracted, right? So अगर आपने ऐसे नहीं किया, so suppose if you haven't done like that, you can just install it from here as well. You just have to apply and save, and then the 3.9.4 version will get installed. But if suppose you want to use the same, what you can say, the Maven which you have installed on your system, then what you have to do is just copy the path of this Maven home. So remember that I told you we're going to need this. So here is where we are going to put this. So after doing so, okay, so let me delete this Maven and keep this one and just say apply and save. Okay. So after clicking on apply and save, okay, so you would find that in the tool section, okay, again I'm repeating, in the tool section you have got the section for Maven. You can click on Maven, you can give some version name and you can give the path for the Maven. So remember that you have to take the path from for the Maven before bin, okay. And now while configuring your project, if you would observe, okay, so just let me apply and save. Again I'll go back to configure. So here I'm now getting the same version name, Maven 3.9.4, which I have changed it from here. So earlier it was simply Maven, so it was showing me Maven. Now I've changed it to Maven 3.9.4, so now it is showing me in the drop down 3.9.4. So whatever way you have, whatever way you have named it, you can accordingly, call it. Okay. So here we can just go ahead. Okay, I'll delete this one also. So remember that I have added the Maven. So first you have to give the Maven target, right? So in order to give Maven target, you should have the Maven installed. So that's a prerequisite step, you can say. And again in the root, so in the build section, you will get again one more uh, option to enter the path for your form.xml. So both are where I suggest you to give the same path, okay, here as well as in the advanced section of pre-build step. So this is the same path and this is also the same path, okay, that is root form, okay. And now after this, what we can do, the way we had executed our hello world program after having our jar file created successfully. So it's like first the jar file need to be created and post build we should be able to we should be able to run the jar file with the help of a java cp command. So first I have to locate my file where my file is, okay. So this is my previous project, so I'll just going to override it with my current, okay. So here this is where my project was, okay. And now I'm going to compile. So here the project has been given the name as, I mean the jar file has been given the name as my app 1.0. So since for demonstrating to other batch I had renamed it to my app 1, so now I'm again renaming it back to my app, okay. Just click on apply and save and say build now. So hopefully if everything has been set properly, so it won't show up any error, but if yes, any error, then we should also know how to rectify. This is how the output looks like. So it will going to, create the build, start creating the build. So it will try to find first the pom.xml file, and after that, it is going to apply whatever goals we have given. Okay, so you have given 3 goals. So goals are like the phases that the Maven or the tasks that the Maven is supposed to do. So we have asked Maven to first clean, then compile, and then create the package and install. So after cleaning, compiling, okay, it has started creating the jar file, and the jar file has got created, and we have got the okay, so it is saying some error, could not locate uh, my app 1.0. So this way we may get the error, so but we should not, we should be able to learn even how to resolve the errors. So maybe I have changed the name of an app. That's why the error has come up. It's showing the error for class not found exception. So let us verify what package name we have given. It's from my company name app. So let me try giving it quickly with the previous my app that was working fine. Users admin. So you may not get this kind of an error because I believe that since I have changed the existing configuration, that's the reason the error has come up. Otherwise, it should work the same way uh, as that on the terminal. Let me verify from here as well what package name is taking. So meanwhile, we'll show you the actual result, how it should, give you, because I'm running out of time and the battery. So that's why quickly showing you how it should show you the result, the actual result. Okay, so it has done it for us. Let us go to the console output. So after creating the jar file, okay, it has printed the hello world. So this is how we're going to execute. So you can just go back through your all steps of the phases that the Maven has done for us. So it has done the compilation, it has done the jar creation for us. Okay. So you can even go back and check the timestamp of the jar file, whether it has got changed. So you can see that, so it's 1648 now. Okay. So recent jar file has been created. File has been created recently and it has been also executed. Okay. So in the post build step, we have given the command to execute it, right? So once again, take you back to the configuration page. Okay. So the same project, if you upload it onto GitHub, this my whole my app. Okay. Complete my app directory. If I host it on my GitHub repository, this is my app, then I can call it through Git. Okay. And everything else will remain same. Okay. So the goal will remain same. The selection of Maven version remains same. The only thing that will get changed is the path for the form, because we may not be that time fetching the path from the local system. We may be giving a path where the Jenkins will first going to clone the Git repo, and then it will going to clone the repo inside the Jenkins workspace. We need to give the workspace path. So that I will show you in the lab. So at least for you to complete this much of practical, I have limited this to here. So after running the goals, after giving the POM file at both the locations and the versions, then you are just good to go. Just save the file, okay, and provide where the jar file and where the path, the same way that you have done in your CMD prompt. Okay, so once you are done with that, you just click on build now and see the output. Okay, so I'm stopping it here. So please complete it.